Due to a wide distribution and brightly colored plumage, the wood duck is one of the most recognizable duck species in North America. From near extinction population levels in the early 1900s, recovery efforts have brought the breeding population of wood ducks up to around 3 million birds continentally. Due to this success, the wood duck is one of the most abundant nesting ducks in Illinois, and wood duck consistently makes up a large part of the duck harvest in both Illinois and the Mississippi Flyway. The male's plumage is composed of chestnut browns, tans, and black body feathers with other bold white markings. Their heads are a striking iridescent green and white with an obvious crest, and their wings have a patch of iridescent dark blue with a white trailing edge. The female's body plumage is a warm brown color. Their heads also have a crest and a white teardrop pattern around the eye. Their wing pattern is similar to that of the males, with dark blue iridescence and the trailing edge of white. Wood ducks can be found all across North America, but are most common in the eastern half of the continent. During the breeding season in the summer months, wood ducks can be found in wooded wetlands where they nest in cavities in trees or in nest boxes. They're one of the few duck species equipped with strong claws that can grip bark and perch on branches. During the non-breeding season, in the winter months, most wood ducks winter in forested wetlands in the southeast United States. Because of their wide distribution, importance as a game species, and their habit of nesting in nest boxes, a lot of research has been conducted on wood ducks. However, much of this research has been focused on their breeding ecology. Very little research has been focused on their post-breeding ecology, so that time period after breeding, but before the onset of their fall migrations. With this study, we wanted to investigate key factors of wood duck ecology during this time period, including what habitats they used during both the day and the night, their home range sizes, and when they began their fall migrations. Our study area was located in wetlands along the Illinois River in central Illinois. We captured wood ducks during the late summer in August and September when juvenile birds had reached an adult size. To capture wood ducks, we used both baited Y traps and rocket nets. Here, in this video, is a Y trap. These traps are placed on dry land, and the doors of this style of trap are small funnels so that it's easy for the bird to get into the trap after the bait, but it's difficult for them to then get out. Once captured, we took a variety of morphological measurements from each bird, including their weight and measurements of select appendages to determine the size and health of each bird. We then banded and attached a transmitter to each bird. For this study, we used both VHF and GSM style transmitters. VHF transmitters were attached around the birds' necks with a bib. Bibs were custom fit for each bird so that it tightly fit over the bird's head and rested around the neck. We then preened the transmitter in to limit it from moving around when the bird was active. VHF stands for very high frequency. These transmitters emit a radio signal that we can detect with a receiver. The signal emitted from these transmitters is a series of repeated beeps. The signal can only be detected by the receiver at a maximum distance of about a mile, so we use tracking trucks mounted with an antenna to search the river valley for the wood ducks. The antenna allows us to be able to calculate a bearing of which direction the signal is coming from. We can then get multiple bearings to triangulate the bird's location. GSM transmitters, which stands for the Global System for Mobile Communication, collect and store GPS locations. These transmitters are charged by a solar panel and send location data via the cell phone network. Depending on battery level, we were able to program these transmitters to take GPS locations ranging from twice a day to once an hour, and transmitters were programmed to send location data to us daily. We collected data over 3 autumns in 2018 through 2020. Although data analysis is still ongoing, we do have some preliminary results to share. Over those 3 years, we radio marked 253 wood ducks with VHF transmitters and 66 wood ducks with GSM transmitters. And we were able to collect approximately 13,000 locations from the VHF transmitters and approximately 31,000 locations with the GSM transmitters. Wood ducks primarily used wooded habitats and habitats with emergent vegetation. Emergent vegetation was especially important to wood ducks at night, when many of the birds moved out of wooded areas at sunset to roost in wetlands with dense patches of cattail and American lotus. We were also surprised to find that some of the wood ducks left the river valley and utilized small agricultural ponds and ditches. These habitats tended to have good amounts of aquatic and emergent vegetation that we think the wood ducks were keying into. Or they could have possibly been in search of areas where they were less disturbed from human activities, such as hunting. Over the 3 autumns of this project, we recorded 49 mortalities. 28 of the wood ducks were hunter harvested, and 21 wood duck mortalities were presumed predations or of unknown causes. Additionally, with the help of hunters reporting banded birds, we were able to document an additional 12 mortalities of hunter harvested birds outside of our study area. Over the 3 years of this study, we've had wood ducks harvested in 10 different states, ranging from as far north as North Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, to as far south as Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. With the use of the GSM transmitters, we were able to get multiple locations throughout the day. And here's an animation of the daily movements of several of the wood ducks within our study area. The GSM transmitters also allowed us to be able to track the wood ducks once they migrated out of our study area. Most of our wood ducks began their fall migrations in early to mid-November, when we started seeing those first few cold snaps. And our current record holder is a female wood duck that flew from central Illinois to near Texarkana, Texas in one night. That's a straight line distance of 534 miles in 11 hours and 45 minutes of flying. Additionally, for a few of the wood ducks, we have been able to collect data on 2 separate fall migrations. The wood duck, represented by the green dot in this animation, wintered in Louisiana in 2019. In the spring, she migrated back to the study area where we believe she attempted to nest at Saginaw State Fish and Wildlife Area. After what we believe was a failed nesting attempt, she conducted a northward migration to Minnesota where she molted. And then, in early fall 2020, she began her migration south to Texas. With that, I would like to conclude here by acknowledging the partners who have helped support this research. This project has been funded through federal aid in wildlife restoration through the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, the Nature Conservancy, IDNR, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for letting us access their properties to conduct our research, and Cruise Aviation for piloting our aerial telemetry efforts. And thank you all for spending the time to listen about some of the research that we are conducting at the Forbes Biological Station.